Hello students, my name is Monish Narsen. I'm a CAD faculty at IIG, and today we are going to see how we can make different types of Bali earrings. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So first we will start with J Bali. Okay, so I will take a center circle over here, 0 enter, 6 left click, and we'll take a two-way line over here from this chord, let's say 8, and shift press left click. Okay, now over here it depends what is the length of your earring. Okay, if it is, let's say currently I will do offset of this thing for around 16 mm. Once we are done with the measurement, we'll take a curve over here, and let's say from this area over here I will just make a shape like this, whatever shape you need for the earring. Once you are done with this thing, we'll do is rebuild this thing for, let's say 15 points and F10, and let's say we can change the color of this thing to, let's say, red, so you can easily identify this thing. This is currently inside, so we can move a bit outside, this a bit like this, so you can give your shape like whatever you want on this thing. What she'll do is, let's say I will just move this thing up like this, and this seems perfect. Now we'll do is we'll take offset of this thing, and that will be 2.1 outside, and again we'll do is rebuild this thing for with 15 points, done, F10. This is the upper part of earring. Okay, so this needs to be a bit thick because we need to place diamonds in this thing, while this can be a bit slim. So we'll do is we'll box select this thing, and we can do is take this inside. We'll just measure to it that, let's say we'll take end over here, from end to end this is currently 1.5 1.6, that is fine, and we can do is this points over here, we'll reduce this thing, let's say by 0.3, and we'll measure this thing from this to this is 1.8. okay, so we have kept the bottom part as 1.6, we can even reduce more. So this seems still it is a bit big, so we'll do is we'll take this more inside, let's say 1.18, that's fine. The 1.2, it's around the same thing. Okay, now this thing seems a big bit outside, so we'll again change this. You need to always do is refurnish this thing as per you. Okay, not too much of a difference, but a slide of this inside this. Now once we are done with this thing, we'll just do is box select, loft this thing, and we'll go in perspective, let's just shade it, and we'll do is extrude surface. We'll keep both sides as yes over here, and we want total metal of 3.0 over here. 3 mm is the total thickness of this thing, so we'll do is 1.5 and left click. So if we do is we'll again confirm over here from this end to this end, you can see it is 3 mm. Once we have done this thing, our metal part is basically ready. We are just left out with is the hinge over here. Now to make a hinge, we'll go in front view over here. Let's say we'll keep our chord on. We'll take a line over here from this chord to this chord. We have got a line over here. We'll take a circle over here, center circle, and we'll keep our mid on. And because the metal thickness, the offset that we have kept over here is 2.1, we'll just keep a slightly 0.1 more than that. So we'll do 2.2 over here and left click. Once we have done this thing, select this part. So we need to do is we need to make a hole out of this thing, like a gap out of this. So I'll just select this like this with a blue dot arrow, and now we can do is Boolean difference. Select the solid part, enter, delete input as yes, select the cutter and enter. This is basically a surface part, so we can do is change color and hide this thing. So now we can see the hinge part where we want the hinge, it is ready. Okay, so once we have done this thing, we'll select this circle, we'll again go in front, and we'll do is over here we'll make a offset of this thing, or let's say 0.7, and it has came properly to 0.8. 0.8 is default for always. Okay, so once we have done this thing, we'll deselect. Now we can do is we'll select this thing. Just for example, if I show you, we have taken a metal for this, that is 3 mm. Okay, so we'll basically create 3 hinge over here, and each hinge will be around of 1 mm. So once we have got this thing, we'll do is select the outside and inner curve. We'll go in right view and we'll do extrude curve. Let's select both of them again. Right view, extrude curve. Our both side is on, and we'll do is 0.5 because we want 1 mm in total. So we'll do 0.5 over here, and we'll confirm in perspective. So if you can see, we have got a hinge over here. Once you have got this thing, you can select this. We'll do is mirror. We'll select the chord over here of this portion and just shift select, so we'll get a proper hinge in the on the side over here. Now once we have got this thing, we can do is mirror this, 0, enter, and basically on the opposite side of this thing. So once we have got this thing, you can see our hinge is complete over here. Now for the diamond placement, we'll go in top view, shaded, and we'll do is tube edge and get a curve of this and this here over here, and enter, as we want to place diamonds on the top of this thing. Now I'll select the curve over here, and there is a command that is called offset curve on surface. Now we have already selected a curve, it is asking to select a surface. We'll select this thing. Currently the arrows are outside, so we'll flip inside, and we have done 3 mm over here. So let's say we'll go is 0.75, enter, and same goes for the other side. We'll do offset curve on surface, select the surface, arrows are inside, 0.5, enter. Now we'll do is we'll select the curve over here, F6, gem on curve, and we'll go for 1.3 mm of diamond over here. So we'll just keep a place for prong over here as well, and I will drag this, let's say till this point, like this, enter. And we can even do is select the surface, the target object over here, to get a proper diamonds over here. Enter to confirm. Now we'll get prongs over here, so prong placer, 0.5 diameter is proper. We'll just change height offset for this thing, and if we can navigate this nudge a bit outside, that's it, and enter to confirm. And I will do is I will basically select this thing. Even I can do is mirror this on the opposite side, 0, enter, like this. So now we have got our diamonds on this side as well. Okay, once we have got this thing, as per the image, if you can see, we have a pipe over here. Okay, so that is basically, if you want to go for the rendering part, you can basically add the pipe over here, but we can't add this in the cam model because there are various designs in this thing, and so that's the reason we don't add up that things in this thing. Okay, just for the normal thing, just for the rendering purpose, if you want to see, I will show you this part. Okay, so let's say if you want to add this thing over here, I will go in right view. I will take a circle over here from, let's say, near over here. I will just take 0.5 mm over here, select this thing. Let's go in perspective. Currently the angle is different, so I'll change this thing, let's say 90 degrees over here like this. And this is currently a bit small, so I'll just do is with this green arrow we'll increase such like this around 0.5 mm like this. Okay, and we'll try to place this in center. This is basically approximately like this over here. Once we are done with this thing, let's go in front view over here, and we'll do is with this green arrow dot, we'll just drag like this a bit inside of this thing. So once we have got this thing, we can do is basically stick this thing inside like this, and there might be a hole like this over here. Okay, so this is how the pipe is set over here. Once we have done this thing, you can even do is just for rendering purpose, I will just show you over here. We'll just do is we'll select this thing and we'll just do Boolean difference. We have already selected the part. We'll do delete input as no, because we don't want to delete this thing, but we even want to make a hole over here, and enter. So now if I just lower this thing over here, you'll be able to see a hole in this thing. Okay, so what is this hole? This hole is basically like to set a pipe in this thing. At the last, okay, we'll just do is select the gems over here, F6, gem cutter, enter, Boolean difference, select the solid part, enter, gem cutter, enter. And we did input as no, delete input, that's the reason it didn't get cancelled. Now if I hide the gems over here, you can see a gap over here. Okay, so we have got the final part over here. Now the last part over here is, let me hide the gems and prongs over here. We need to group this thing. Okay, so we'll do is select the upper part, the pipe over here, the right and left part, and we'll group this thing. We'll again select this thing and we'll group this thing. We can do is we'll select curve and hide all the curves over here, select surface and hide that as well. Okay, don't select, we have already hidden the surface in red over here. Once we have done this thing, we can do is let's move this up, that is 5 points over here, and rest will group this as well. Okay, so once we are done with this thing, we always need to do is separate them and then give for the cam, because this will be a separate part, this will come as a separate part, and then the Karigar will do is he will connect this thing and add a hinge over here. So this is basically a J Bali. Now once we have done this thing, we can do is let me Control Z and again group this thing, and I will just move 20 points away from the zero graph. Okay, once we are done with the J Bali, Even J Bali is the same kind of thing. Let's say with this itself we can make a J Bali over here. Let's go in front view. I can do is, let's say I will take a line over here, from over here near, shift select for proper ortho, and select the surface over here, command split with this curve, enter, and we'll just delete this portion over here like this. Okay, now this is basically the J Bali over here. If you are trying to go for just J Bali, I will just recommend just make a curve till this chord over here, till this point. Okay, and once we are done with this thing, we can do is select curve, hide this thing, and select this point, extrude surface, and this will be 1.5 on both sides. So this is basically a J Bali over here. J Bali doesn't have a hinge over here. Okay, J Bali is just with a metal over here. Now we can do is, we can basically, I will ungroup this thing and I will just get a pipe over here. Let's go in top view, press Alt and get a pipe like this. Okay, so we can increase the height of this pipe. Let's say I will just select this pipe, go in front view, and we can do is just increase this with blue color over here like this. So it is a bit bigger than U Bali. Okay, so J Bali is very easy. It's like same as U Bali itself. Okay, like same over here we can place the gems and prongs over here as well. So that's it for today guys, till we meet in our next video. Thank you.